Hey guys, and welcome to my July wrap-up and June TBR. We're going to see how this goes. I have a lot of books to get through, because if you didn't know, Booktubeathon took place this month, which means that in July I read a grand total of 12 books, which is not bad. Wish I could have read more, but what can you do? So, let's get on with the video before this gets too long. So first up this month, I managed to finish The Other Boleyn Girl, which is a book I got halfway through in June, but didn't finish until July. This is just a very interesting historical fiction novel by Philippa Gregory, who I already knew I like as an author, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars. It's a good book. What do you want me to say? Next up, I read what is probably the favourite book that is not a reread that I've read so far this year, and that is Fearless by Tim Lott. The description did not sound that appealing. I bought this pretty much entirely because the spine is really pretty and I love the shade of blue. Excellent reasons to buy a book, if you ask me. I love this book. It's a kid's book, but there's something distinctly Orwellian about it, and it was an incredible read. 5 stars. Went into a mini book slump at the end of it. Yeah. Next up, I read The Medici Seal by Teresa Breslin, which is another historical fiction novel, this time about someone who lived in the time of Leonardo da Vinci. It was a very good read. It took me a lot longer than it should have because I read it after Fearless, and I tried to start it too soon. I was still recovering. So I ended up giving this 4 stars. Any other month it might have gotten 5 stars, but not right after Fearless. Then I took a short break from reading, and then the Booktubeathon happened, which is where my next 9 books come from. That is... Okay, I'm not going to show you these in order, because this is just too much. I read the first 5 books, not according to release date, but according to chronology within the series. The first 5 books of the St. Clair series by Enid Blyton, though she did not technically... Helps if I put them in the right order. She did not technically write this one, but it is based on her work, and it's, as you can see, part of the series. So these 4, actually by Enid Blyton, I gave 4 stars, and this one I gave 3 stars. It's not a prejudice against anyone who's not Enid Blyton, that's just because it's not as well written as Enid Blyton. I'm sorry, but it's not. I also read Alan Zadoff's Boy Nobody, the first book in what is now a series, but this was originally intended as a standalone. It was a good book, 4 stars. Yeah. At one point I was worried, the edges are so pretty. At one point I was worried it was going to be very tropey and fall into this thing, but it managed to climb out at the end, and it was a good book, so 4 stars. Pantheon by Sam Bourne. I gave it 3 stars. It's a well-written book. It's an excellently written book. I'm just not sure you can call it a thriller. It was an interesting book. It's another historical fiction. I read a weird amount of historical fiction, because these are actually classics, technically. It's just... okay. I wanted to love this book so much. It was so well written, the topic was so well done, but I just could not fall in love with the characters. They were just too perfect, and it was so annoying. Which is a really weird thing to say if you've read this book, because a large part of it focuses around the fact that the main character isn't perfect, but I just couldn't fall in love with them, so I only gave it 3 stars. Makes me sad. I'm being very careful, they're going on a very neat pile. Next up, I read graphic novel of A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, illustrated by Edgington, whose first name I can't presently remember. I'm sorry. I went to the library and the art in this is beautiful. All the colouring and everything is just so well done. It makes me so happy. So I gave this 5 stars because it's spectacularly beautiful, and I love Sherlock in all of its many forms. It just makes me very happy. Although young Sherlock is not very good. This was beautiful. And finally this month I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition, which I also got from the library, which is why there's some damage up there. This, again, just look at that. It's so well done. My favourite, that one's stunning as well. But no, the art in this, even the end papers are beautiful. But my favourite is this owl. I don't know why, I just really love this owl. It just makes me very happy. So it's Sherlock. It's not Sherlock, it's Harry Potter, which, like Sherlock, automatically gets 5 stars. But I just wish I could own it. Sorry, my camera died. I'd managed to start but didn't finish, and didn't get very far through, obviously, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, the first book in the Millennium Trilogy. So I do want to finish this in August. This TBR, looking at the pile next to me, is very ambitious. I'm slightly scared for myself. Because I also want to finish the rest of the trilogy, which, it was a really good deal, so I just bought all of it, okay? It was second hand at a fair. I have all of it, even if the third one doesn't perfectly match the other 2. I have all 3, and I want to read all of them this month. So, there's that. I also want to finish the other 3 books in the St. Clair series. Yes, there is another book. I only own these 8. Okay? Yeah. Just want to finish them. I love these books. These were a large part of my childhood. So, to finish those. And I also need to finish the 3 books I got out of the library, which are We Are Completely Besides Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. I know nothing about this book. It just sounded interesting and the cover's pretty. So, got that out of the library. Next library book is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. Actually, I have 2 books by Patrick Ness, but only one of them is in the Chaos Walking trilogy because I could not find the other 2. So, when I next go into the library, I'm either going to have to find them or request them. Looking at that, that looks a lot like the knife from Supernatural. Okay, my fangirl is showing. Never mind. So this is... everyone can hear everyone else's thoughts, and then this boy finally finds somewhere that's quiet. And it's very famous, it's very well known. I could only find book 1, so we'll see how this goes, but I do want to read this month. The final book is another Patrick Ness book, which is More Than This. This cover is just awesome. That's my library slip. It's so cool. I have no idea what is this book about. I've just heard of it. I don't know anything about it, and it looks so cool. So, I'm finally going to read some Patrick Ness this month. Whether it's this, or both of them, I'm finally going to read Patrick Ness. Because sometimes I feel like the only book nerd who's never read anything by Patrick Ness. I've also never read anything by Neil Gaiman, which needs to be resolved. But I can't find any Neil Gaiman books at my local library. So, that's a lot of books. So, the books I want to read. Oh Lord, these are heavy. And the books I read. Woo. This is the most stable red stack I've ever had because there's a giant hardback at the bottom. Yeah. Ooh. Say that and then it starts sliding around. I'm going to do something very stupid and try to pick all of them up at once. Come here. So there's the books I want to read. And there's the books I already read. Woo! Yeah! Put these down now. Put these down now. No! No! They all went on my sofa. All books are fine. I can't move my leg. So I'm going to have to do the outro like this because... So, I hope you had a great month. I hope you have another great month. And I'll see you soon. Bye!